else you want to get off your chest before I introduce anything?
Yeah, this podcast crushing me down.
It's crushing you down?
Crushing me down. Just set fucking time aside for it. What a huge pain in my ass.
It is a burden, you know? It is a burden.
Yeah, it is a burden. Why should I carry it?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If there was any other way to do it without setting time aside.
There's plenty of other ways for you to do this. Like, without me. Are you going to introduce us, or am I stuck in this hell forever?
I was just wondering if I could still call it Heads Up with Jeff and Sean if you were not here. I mean,
why don't you call it Heads Up with Jeff and Brett? You're gonna have a frequent guest and a hulking monstrosity Brett on as your by-host.
I refuse. All right, hey, and welcome to Heads Up with Jeff and Sean.
Kinda rude.
I am Jeff.
Shouting hey.
Yeah. We're gonna be very aggressive today.
All right, let's go.
Maybe I'm in a bad mood this time.
All right. This time. Come on, do
I'm
the
Jeff.
intro. What are you getting distracted for?
I did it already. I said, hey, this is Heads Up with Jeff and Sean, and I said that my name was Jeff.
I'm the other one. Let's go.
Say your name.
Sean.
On this podcast here, we're going to do a couple of things, okay? All right. 2017, we've dubbed Year of the Wizard.
We?
Because, yeah.
No.
As a collective.
No.
As a collective.
No. You.
I did it.
Yes.
I did it. I was dense about a wizard. I know that they're magical.
Uh-huh.
They use magic.
Good.
I don't understand how that's different from any other magical being or thing. Well, I guess I know it's different than things. So it's 2017. It's the Year of the Wizard. We're looking at movies that have wizards in them in the hopes that I will figure out exactly what a wizard is as opposed to other magical beings. We're going to eat some candy. Oh, no, we already ate the candy. Sean always corrects me on this. Mm-hmm. We already ate some candy. We're going to talk about it.
That's good.
All right?
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
The first thing we're going to do, first thing we're always going to do,
the worst part,
forever,
start low and build,
is going to do something called, we're going to look at our friend's social media in a segment we've called Kyle's Click.
The internet gave us a whole world of exciting new possibilities. So I guess this is a story of how it changed our lives. Maybe it will yours too.
Doesn't that sound like fun, just looking at someone else's Facebook? There's no way our audience could do that on their own. By which I mean both Brett and Holly, I think, are friends with Kyle. They could just go look at his Facebook on their own.
No one's going to do it on their own, okay? It has to be put out there.
I do it all the time. It's, hey, you know what? Why don't I'll edit this one, and I definitely won't cut out Kyle's Click, but I'll just you just send me the files. I'll edit this episode. That's no problem. There's no skin off my back. I got this one. What's new on Kyle's Facebook? Something about a guy from Steely Dan died.
Oh.
So bummer.
Yeah.
And then a picture of a leaf that is in the process of dying. So double bummer.
Do you think Kyle's depressed?
I don't know. Do you? I'm not gonna. This isn't the diagnosis corner. I'm not gonna diagnose Kyle with based on the posts he make on Facebook. What's the matter with you?
That's true. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah. You were being a jerk off.
Sorry.
We're all agreed
All right.
that you were being real doinka-jerker.
I'll ask Kyle personally, okay? I'll ask him personally. It's not my fault. I'm distracted. My dog is scared of rain.
What a weak animal. What a weak descendant of wolves. Afraid of water that falls from the sky. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Makes her pant. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
I
crazy.
think that might have been going up the stairs. Going down the stairs or walking around or standing up or sitting down.
You're thinking of me.
Yeah. I just meant that your dog has a weight problem.
Hey, she's doing better than ever, okay?
Okay. That's good. That's good. Hi, everyone. Jeff has a fat dog. Okay.
All right.
Something about this sheriff that got pardoned that people have apparently forgot about already. I mean, that happened like just 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
I think so.
Maybe even last week? 2 weeks? No, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was right the first time. How dare you even try to correct me?
By the time this podcast comes out, maybe a month ago. Who knows?
No one talks about it anymore, though. They were just like, it's done.
Yeah.
He's the best sheriff ever again.
Does he go right back to his job?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Won't it be a little awkward, show him back up at work?
I don't think it will be with the work environment he's created out in Arizona. There, I think he's going to be just fine.
Sheriff just seems like a really old term to me. Like, why do we still have sheriffs?
Right.
Isn't there another term we could have? Like, wasn't Robin Hood dealing with sheriffs?
Yep.
It's crazy. And from what I can tell, they were collecting taxes.
What?
Do sheriffs nowadays collect taxes?
Was Robin Hood a real person? I don't. I don't know. Maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe that Arizona sheriff was collecting taxes.
There you go.
So who's the Robin Hood in that situation then? I don't know who was.
Latino people.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Okay, I mean, Robin Hood was stealing from the rich, though. Like, that's in his thing, right? He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. That's still theft. That's still a crime.
Absolutely.
All right.
I doubt he paid taxes on the money he stole.
No, I don't think.
King was just trying to get his.
That would just look like him paying off the sheriff. He stole money and then slips under the sheriff, and then that doesn't make any sense.
Well, do you think Robin Hood would have lasted longer if he was paying off the Sheriff of Nottingham?
Probably not. I think the point was the Sheriff of Nottingham was like, he was on the take from rich people, so he wasn't going to be on the take from a guy who stole from rich people.
Yeah, but I mean, if I remember anything from like mob movies and stuff, you can be on the take on both sides and just make your money.
Ooh, okay.
And then one of them will shoot you.
But
eventually, and you'll die. But
okay, well, there's that. Also, I mean, mobsters weren't a thing until later, right? Like, that's a different time period. So maybe that philosophy had to be evolved. Now, I know you don't believe in evolution, but you know.
If we evolved from sheriffs, how come they're still sheriffs?
Because not all sheriffs evolved. Okay, it was just one particular branch of sheriffs. Come on.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it.
How do you feel about the Earth being flat? This is a thing I just learned. Did you know that the Earth is flat? And we've been lied to by the man all this time?
Here's the thing. It may have been round at one point, right? But with all the people being born, all the buildings being built, all the trash being trashed, it kind of flattened it down.
Yeah, pancaked out, I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking science. Look it up.
It's just crazy, because there's I live pretty close to Mount Monadnock, and it's flat. Did you know that?
The mountain is flat.
The whole Earth is flat. You said earlier before we started recording that you walked upstairs. You didn't, actually. You thought you did, but those stairs were flat. You're on the same floor.
I'm just that out of shape.
Yeah, you're just that out of shape, yeah. The whole Earth is just perfectly, completely flat.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not a lot of people talk about it because it's hard to learn new facts, you know what I mean? And like all the textbooks have already been written and printed out from when the Earth was round.
Can't change them now.
Yeah,
it's in print.
It's too late.
Too late. They had their chance. How long do you think that process took?
The flattening of the Earth?
The flattening of the Earth, yeah.
Well, let's see. The Earth is 4,000 years old.
I think it's 6.
So...
But...
Oh, by now? Yeah. What is it, 2017? Yeah. It's got to be at least 6,000 years old now.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a lot of candles.
Yeah.
On the birthday cake is what I meant. But you got it. You laughed. I didn't have to explain.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, God, when did we start making trash? Like the 30s?
When do we start making trash? What do you mean?
Yeah, when did we start having trash?
I don't know. I don't know. That's why I asked.
Well, the Native Americans, they used every part of like the animal, right?
You?
So they made houses and weapons and food.
Yeah. Oh, food. Okay. So what happened to the food
and they ate? No waste.
What happened to the food?
They ate it.
Right. And then what did it become?
It became feces. And that was used to
they used every part of the feces.
Feed the plants. yeah, they used every part. They kept their mud huts together with feces. They,
No, they didn't. No. No. It is not heads up official stance that Native Americans lived in shit huts. That's not a thing that happened.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty sure it's not. What about longhouses? What about the Native Americans who lived in longhouses?
Well, it depends on how big their family was, how long their house would be.
But those were made out of like trees, so
yeah.
Did they just smear shit on the walls? I'm sorry. I'm waiting for you to come up with an explanation as to how those particular tribes used every part of the feces.
Longhouses were made out of trees. Okay, so they just lived under a tree? No, it had to be made with trees and feces, okay? You need at least 2 components to have built something. You can't take one thing and build something out of it.
You can, and I know that you know that.
Don't get me on this whole Legos thing, because I won't stand for it. Okay.
Yeah, but there's different shapes. I don't want to jump away from Native Americans and your adamant position that they lived in shit huts.
Waste not, want not.
Hey, have you ever had pizza from Shit Hut? It's fucking terrible.
All right. Listen, we were talking about that because
Because of your unrealistic and unscientific views of the world. Yeah, you've done no research. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? Here, I'll Google real quick. Did Native Americans live in shit huts? Question mark enter. And there is an article on globalcitizen.org called "Who Uses Shit to Build a House?"
who uses shit to build a house?
I have clicked on the article and I am finding out. Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
there's some places in West Africa where they use, so it's like an insect repellent. It's a natural insect repellent. I mean, it's a lot of
Feces
things.
is a natural insect
That's
repellent.
what they're telling me here.
How come flies are associated with poop? I don't understand.
It repels mosquitoes specifically,
Oh,
which
really?
is a problem in a lot of parts of Africa. I don't know if you knew that. It probably used to be until the world flattened out and animals can't fly anymore because they're perfectly
Yeah.
flat. It acts like a thermal insulator and it's the best natural disinfectant. You know what? This doesn't feel right.
Well, how does it disinfect?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. Hey, it's a mood booster too.
Yeah, my mood's usually improved after I drop some feces.
Yeah, but do you drop it and then reach your hand into the toilet and just smear it on the walls? Does that make you feel better?
So, are you sure you typed in feces correctly?
Type shit, but
I had no idea that it was so multi-purpose. I just thought it was used today as waste and back in Native American times as building material.
well,
fertilizer.
I mean, so I haven't seen anything about human shit so far, but it's like cow dung, cow urine in some places.
So cow shit has all these magical properties.
Cow dung, please, and please watch your language. This is a PG-13 podcast.
I'm sorry.
You dumb piece of shit.
Back to my original question. When did we start making garbage?
So I mean,
Waste.
there's always been garbage is the thing. I mean, this Native Americans used every part of the animal thing. Like, there's still stuff got broken and they had to throw it away. Like, I don't think they had landfills, so they just literally just threw it in the woods somewhere and animals took care of it. There's always been trash.
Are you saying that if we let animals take care of our trash now, we wouldn't have as much trash, or that?
I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying that there's always been trash. We've always been making trash. It's the human specialty is making trash.
Do people make houses out of trash now? Can you look that up?
I know for a fact that some places do. So used plastic bottles, like soda bottles or glass bottles, are sometimes used in the construction of schools and stuff because it's a readily available material that can keep out the weather.
Does it keep out the weather better than cow dung?
I don't know. I don't have a comparison in front of me. I don't want you to think that I'm defending either of these as building materials. I don't think people should be forced to live in trash houses. I don't think people should be forced to live in... I don't think people are forced to live in, like, cow shit houses, though. I think that's, like, a thing that they do culturally.
It's a choice. Yeah, it's a choice.
Because it keeps away mosquitoes. So they don't, like, get whatever mosquito diseases there are.
Now, it's specifically cow poop that keeps away mosquitoes.
I mean, I didn't see them drawing up the fucking equation for me. Like, they just said these buildings are made out of cow dung. Or cow dung is used as a component.
All right.
So I'm done with this conversation and with Kyle's Facebook, so let's go ahead and look at Twitter.
It's interesting here.
I knew, as soon as I read this, I knew you were going to have to talk about it. This is your problem, not mine. I don't care if Kyle listens. So please continue.
He retweeted a tweet with a comment talking about how excited he is for a podcast.
Yeah. Is it our podcast,
Feel-
Jeff?
No, it's not. This from a man, when confronted about listening to podcasts, says that he does not listen to podcasts. Mm-hmm. He does not have the time.
Well, he's going to make the time for this new podcast. This Mountain
He's
Goats.
very excited about it.
Mountain Goats.
I'm sure it's someone he's known for a long time, someone he's very good friends with, and I'm sure he wants to try to support him. And, oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. No, it says here, it's a fucking stranger. I'm sorry. Gotta watch the language.
Yeah, it's
a stranger.
Come on, it's PG-13.
Stranger. I told you I was angry today.
Are you afraid of the rain too? Is that you? Just you and your dog Stella
Yeah.
barking at the rain.
Yeah. You know, John, I have such a connection with my dog that when my dog is stressed, I am stressed,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I have such empathy
Yeah, they say
for fat dogs.
they say human owners really take on the attributes of their dogs. Yeah. It usually happens when the dog has a really strong personality and maybe the person doesn't, you know. Seen some sports stuff, a lot of politics stuff.
What kind of sports?
Something about the Celtics.
Interesting. Interesting.
We're looking at the same page. How did I lose you?
I still don't see it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, it
it's another retweet.
Just scrolls down. Yeah.
He's been on a retweet thing.
Has he? Was that all you had to say about it? He's been on a retweet thing? You don't want to follow that up with something like, wow, he's been doing a lot of retweets. I wonder why that is. Maybe is he sick? I don't know. That seems to be your default. Is Kyle depressed? Is Kyle sick? He just doesn't want to be involved, is the thing here. He just doesn't want to be involved with the podcast. You can't blame him for that. I certainly can't.
It's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
I think you know what? It doesn't specifically say sports underneath it, but I'm pretty sure the tweet underneath that is a retweet about sports too. You know, who knows?
Yep, it is.
He says fig dish is still great. Do you have an opinion about fig dish?
I don't. I like figs. Oh, this is a band thing?
I think so. Yeah.
It looks like. I don't know. I've never heard of fig dish.
You like figs though.
Fig dish. I'll eat a fig. Who said I wouldn't?
He's not very active on here.
No, that's cool.
What kind of social media is Kyle getting all his thoughts out on if it's not Twitter and Facebook?
He's keeping them locked up
Damn.
because he's chronically depressed. Remember when you diagnosed him?
I'm just saying, 2 posts in a row about death, not good.
Where?
On Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you already closed it.
Remember that?
No, I don't.
Do you remember?
As soon as this segment is done, I forget about it. I think it's just like a trauma thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and oh no, my finger slipped. Twitter's closed too. So this is the year of the wizard, and we watched a movie with a wizard in it. Here's Jeff to tell you more about that.
About what movie we watched?
Yeah, I want you to name it. I thought that was implied. And then we'll talk about it.
We watched The Sword in the Stone, made by Walt Disney in what looked to be the 1960s.
Did he personally make it?
I mean, he built the company that made it, so.
Is it the Walt Disney Company, or is it just the Disney Company?
What do you mean, like now? I think now it's like.
What was it when they made this film? When was this film made? I don't.
Let me tell you, the title of this very old poster for this movie says Walt Disney's hilarious all-cartoon feature, The Sword in the Stone, Technicolor. So he took possession of it, at least in the marketing, in good old 1963. I don't think he voiced or drew anything. I don't think he colored anything in.
No, it's called the Walt Disney Company.
Is it called the Walt Disney Company?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's pretty fucking bold.
Yeah.
We didn't just check Zuckerberg book to see what Kyle was like, Let me go. He's the only guy I know who owns a website, so I don't. If you have more examples, that would be great, Jeff. But I can't.
We don't go by Elon Musk's Teslas.
There you go. Well, it wouldn't be called. It would just be called an Elon Musk. Like, hey,
That's
I just
true.
bought an Elon Musk today.
You ever go to JeffBezos.com, pick yourself up some books?
I watched this movie on JeffBezos.com. Is it Bezos?
Bezos?
Bezos sounds like pesos. So I'm just saying. I'm just doing some free association here.
Well, he does have a lot. He does have a lot of pesos.
Yeah. Ooh.
He's rich, is what I'm saying.
Woof. Yeah. No, I heard you say it.
So,
do you want to just do some slam poetry right now?
Jeff Bezos has pesos to spare. Well, Mexico. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
Is that how slam poetry sounds?
Yeah.
It's about to get political.
I know
you
yes,
didn't
it
want
was.
to get political here. So
to me, it does, because usually when slam poetry gets political, I'm done. I just leave. So that was a very good reproduction from me.
So, The Sword in the Stone,
yeah.
from 1963,
Yeah.
talks about, Merlin's there. It's talking about King Arthur,
So this is the story of Merlin teaching Arthur things as a child. This is that section of the King Arthur legend. For some reason, I remembered this movie as having anything to do with once he became the king. And that's kind of when the movie ends.
Would have been too much.
He pulls the sword out, and a bunch of adults are like, yes, definitely this 10-year-old boy is our king now because the sword said so.
Yeah. It's on.
And then roll credits, pretty much. Well, we do get, towards the end, there's that amazing scene where he and the talking owl that also nobody blinks an eye at, they try to flee, they try to escape because he doesn't want to be king, and he is trapped. He is not allowed to go anywhere. He cannot leave the throne room even, it looked like. So that was cool. That was a cool part of the movie where this child was trapped in a room.
The one thing Merlin didn't teach him how to do was how to stick with the responsibilities and do those.
Yeah.
He's too busy.
Overall, how did you like this film?
I remember it fondly. When I watched it, I was like, that's it? This is what's going on?
Right.
These are the jokes?
Right? Yeah.
This is what's happening?
I had the same memory. When I saw it as a kid, I was like, yeah, this is all right. I like wizards. I was a pretty big nerd. And also I was a child, so my expectations were pretty low. And it seems like the Walt Disney Company knew that because they set expectations pretty low.
In the 1960s, they were just happy to get 2 cartoon frames look like something's moving.
Yeah.
That's it. They were like, hey, check this out. Everything's moving. Isn't that weird?
So, Kay, the knight that Wart, who was actually Arthur, they call him Wart. I forget why. I was only half paying attention because I was already bored. Kay is out hunting, and Wart has tagged along even though Kay does not want him along, and with good reason, because Wart screws it up for Kay. He startles the deer, Kay's shot goes wide. Kay chases him into the woods, and that's the point where I was like, oh, right, this is the era of time where everyone is assumed to have been wearing pantyhose, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah. You think that's the real reason they don't suggest people go out into the woods back in those days? Is because you'd tear your pantyhose on some branches?
I think it probably was, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. To make up for having a shot go wild, he offers to go find the arrow. How much is an arrow? The guy lives in a fucking castle. I'm sorry. The guy lives in a castle.
Thank you.
Because my language.
Yeah, I know, you're like, just
Jeez.
you gotta fucking watch it.
Jeez Louise.
I'm the cussing boy, okay? I do all the cusses. Well, so I think part of the thing is that in these times you had to like make your own arrows.
Yeah.
It was it's like a libertarian dream. I get the wood, I get the feathers, I get the arrowhead, I put it together, I make the bow. I go shoot animals with it. So it's like a huge deal. Like you gotta go find you gotta go get the feathers, you gotta have the shaft of the arrow, you gotta have the arrowhead, you gotta put it together. My assumption is that Kay himself was not doing this as the son of a nobleman. They don't portray him very well. He's like the big dumb brute whose solution to everything is violence.
Now, so in the beginning of the movie, they just show the forest, and they talk about the strong preying upon the weak.
Yeah.
They show a wolf, a squirrel, a hawk, and then boom, we're out here, they're hunting.
Yeah.
Guy seems real dumb, real quick to anger.
Against
this
can we jump
small
back?
child.
Can we? So the beginning actually opens. They do like the storybook read through, where they're flipping pages to show you things. And the singer he's got kind of a real warbly voice. It's kind of it wavers at points. So that was a pretty bold move. But in the story they tell in the beginning, the sword goes in the stone.
Yes.
And everyone tries to get it out because the first person who takes it out is king. And then they say everyone forgets about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm so like what. The sword that makes someone the king just by pulling it out of a stone, everyone forgets about? How is that straight up forgotten?
The sword that just showed up one day out of the sky?
Yeah.
Just the sky opened up and there it was.
So people have to stop wanting to be king and then forget where the sword is or stop. Like, it doesn't make... People buy lottery tickets every day of their adult lives without winning. Like, they'll win $1 to $10 at a time. They go to their graves without winning more than that. But everyone here just blanks on, like, this Kingmaker sword that's sitting out in some courtyard? Unbelievable.
It's crazy. Do you think they have a similar system as to Gondor in that Lord of the Rings movie? Where there's... What was that guy's name that sat on that smaller chair? Eating...
Denethor, the steward?
Yeah. Do they have a steward, at least, looking over this place? Who's collecting taxes? Do they have a sheriff?
Right. We have no idea what the, like, socio-political... or even the economics of this area are. And we get into none of it, because at the end he's just king, and then they're done with it. So they get into none of the ramifications. Yeah. I'm assuming whoever's running things is probably not going to be happy that a child now rules, and everyone's cool with it. Well, also, additionally, if everyone forgets about this sword that makes you king, why does everyone suddenly remember when this boy pulls it out?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on, children's animated film. Get your facts straight. Sorry, okay, go on, yeah.
Yeah. As he runs into the woods, they cut to Merlin trying to get some water out of a well.
Yeah, with his hands, not using magic. So not off to a great start there, as wizard powers go.
Yeah. we can see later on that he can literally tell anything to just basically pick up and start doing things.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that. But he's more angry that he's living in the Dark Ages currently than in the modern times where there's more conveniences. Even though apparently he can just say to go somewhere and he'll go there.
He's got a little bit of Genie from Aladdin going on there, right? References to other time frames, can kind of just go to those places and come back.
And yet, there he is.
Complaining.
Sitting in the woods.
Drawing his own water from a well, like an idiot.
I don't know what's in the pipe he's smoking, but he does see those visions. Is that a magical power? Did he make the stuff in the pipe to smoke that gives him those visions, or does he have those visions and it's regular smoke?
I feel like we could find something to smoke out of a pipe that would give us visions. So I don't know that that's straight up magic. He might just like that. Maybe that's how he chills, you know. Mm-hmm. He just gets some smoking going. I don't know what the connection in fantasy is between like people like being in a fantasy place and also smoking pipes.
Yeah,
I think we've seen that. That's been pretty consistent too.
Yeah, they love smoking out of pipes. I think it was just most of them were made, or the stories were originally told back when people didn't think smoking was bad for you.
And smoking out of pipe was cool.
Yeah.
It's shorthand for these guys are cool.
Yeah, it's before they had electric instruments, so it was like, or like television, so it was.
Oh, I thought you meant like vaping. I thought it's like before everyone knew that vaping was actually the cool thing.
Yeah. I just wanted it on record that vaping is cool.
Disagree. So even though, I mean, smoking is kind of a common theme in these fantasy films, but we also do hit upon the most common aspect of wizards, which of course is manipulating children.
He's just sitting there waiting because he knows a child is coming.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, and then I will use my magic to have him learn things and see things in the right way.
Yep.
And then it's on. I didn't know that was so much a part of wizards as magic was the manipulation of children. I had no idea.
I know, yeah.
It's like every movie we've seen has that.
Any wizard we see has at some point manipulated children into doing something that's not cool.
I can't get my nieces and nephews to leave me alone when I want. You know what I mean?
Do you smoke a pipe?
And yet all of a sudden, maybe I should,
Start smoking a pipe, and then when they bother you, blow the smoke right in their little faces. They'll leave you alone. It's the next best thing to magic.
That's what's been missing from my life, the ability to blow smoke in someone's face.
Yeah. Have you ever done it? It's amazing.
No.
I used to I used to occasionally smoke cigars, and I'd go to friends' parties, and I don't really like going to parties, but I'd go because I was invited and it felt polite. And I'd just like hang out outside smoking a cigar, and they would just stink terribly, and people would come near me, and I'd just be blowing smoke at them until they left. You want to be left alone, you get you get a cigar, and you just post up somewhere.
If I had the want to smoke and the lungs to smoke, maybe I'd start picking it up.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe smoking is cool.
Well, you know what you could do is they have like those vape machine things, right? Like a vape pen. Can you just use that to like shoot smoke at somebody?
just press a button.
Just press a button and just like vapor them right in the face.
Yeah, do they have vape pens where instead of blowing the smoke in and then out of your lungs, you just blow it directly out of it?
Right. Because like you're sucking it out of the vape pen, right? You know what? I don't know that much about vaping because I think it's dumb. So I go out of my way to not learn about it. Like, I could very easily learn, and I just don't want to because it's stupid. And if you vape, I think less of you. And if you think that doesn't matter, you're wrong. My opinion matters very much to you, and I know that.
What if they've taken out vaping so that they don't smoke cigarettes anymore?
You can just stop smoking. I used to smoke cigarettes too. Well, I actually used to smoke cloves because I was way cool.
Yeah, all these stories about you smoking cigars outside and smoking clove cigarettes.
It wasn't frequently.
I'm really impressed right now.
It was just.
I was very impressed.
I was almost always wearing sunglasses when I did it too, so I don't want to like talk myself up, but. No, it's just like you could just stop. I understand it's an addiction, smoking, but like you could just use those patches, right? The nicotine patches.
Okay. Maybe you just put them on your skin.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I didn't need any help. I don't have an addictive personality. I can just do things and stop. It's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take up more bad habits and quit them.
You want to do some hardcore drugs?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about heroin. You know, people say you always go back looking for that first high. No. I feel like I could one and done. You know, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying I could. You know.
2018, the year of heroin. We're gonna try it for a year, and then we're done.
You know, just give it a little shot. Just see what it's like.
I mean, people who do it seem to love it.
Right. Seems like a pretty cool, chill thing to do.
Yeah. They always seem relaxed
Exactly.
when they're on it.
It's not like cocaine where you do cocaine, you got to do a bunch of chores because you're all high energy. Ugh.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Whew.
I need to be calmed down.
Right.
I'm a spaz, and I need to be calmed down.
I think spaz is an offensive word now.
Is it? What is it? Is it like an acronym for something?
No, I think it's just short for spastic.
Oh, really?
Which was a word used to describe people who had behavior issues when they were kids. I'm just saying, you can use it. I don't, because I don't know, but.
Yeah, I can use whatever word I want, but
right.
maybe if I learn that it's something that's not good, maybe I'll stop.
I'm
I
just
don't
bringing
know.
it up.
We'll see.
This is a learning process.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
You're real spaz. Taking it back. Taking it back.
Okay. All right. I respect that that's what you're trying to do. I won't help you or acknowledge it after this, but... Yeah, Merlin is just hanging out. He's waiting to manipulate this specific child. He doesn't really do anything. He just kind of trusts to fate, which works out for him, which I guess is probably like a wizard thing. Did this feel to you just like 4 short films with like one overarching theme? Like,
yeah.
Did you know, like, I don't know, it was just like he turns into different animals, and then there's a witch, and now he's the king. It was not good. It was not a good movie.
Can we talk about him packing his house up to go live in this castle with nobody's approval?
Gets pretty Fantasia up in here, yeah.
The pack-up spell looks like it'd be pretty useful. Would you use it? Would you want to have it if you had to sing it every time?
Yeah. So just last weekend, I helped a friend move some things for their family, and it was a pain. And if I could have done a little song, and everything fits into a briefcase that I can pick up easily, like it weighs less than 10 pounds, yeah, hands down.
It's worth it to sing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess a lot of people probably like singing. I don't know. It would.
Okay, how about this though, Jeff? Do you prefer singing for like 2.5 minutes? Or do you want to be lifting and moving couches and chairs and beds up and down stairs for like 4 hours?
I'm not saying it's not convenient. I'd probably want to have it, but I'd probably prefer somebody else do it still.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's what you could do: is with this wizard spell, you can manipulate a child into doing it.
That's true.
Yeah.
He knows he's a wizard, and he talks about how great he is and how he knows everything. But he's always talking about things nobody else will have references to.
Helicopters.
Or acting like, yeah. Or acting like, oh, you didn't know that? It's like, no, well, you're talking about something that happens, I'm guessing, in the 60s, and how it's like the future.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm a 12-year-old guy with no education, you know? I literally fell out of a tree.
Into this guy's house, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not that bright.
So Merlin moves in with Wart in the castle. He just kind of invites himself to move in. Mm-hmm. And I already forget the actual knight's name, Kay's father.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Yeah, but, Merlin just shows up and he's like, I live here now. Peace out. And then he starts giving Wart lessons. He gives a little he preaches a little bit about it, like this kind of self-deterministic philosophy. Like you make your own future and it's all on you, boy.
Yeah.
And the quality of education that you get and the access to different things doesn't matter, which we know is factually untrue, but...
But he also tries to impress him with magic. One of the first things he says to him is don't get any foolish ideas that magic will solve all your problems, because it won't.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, well then, why are you bothering trying to impress me with it?
Right. Yeah. Also, it seems like magic solved the problem of this move with all of my furniture is going to be a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It seems like,
It also helped him when the guy's like, you can't live here, what are you, crazy? And he's like, oh, don't worry. I guess I'll just leave. But am I really gone? Because this is my magic intimidation move where I disappear and then talk into the winds.
It wasn't, am I really gone? It's, even when I'm gone, you can't be sure I'm gone. By the way, I'm still here. Which is like, oh my god, dude, chill out.
Yeah, everybody relax.
Everyone just be cool. Like, no one's using that shitty tower you're moving into. I'm sure no one cares, but like, You don't have to threaten the guy. He lives here. This is his castle.
Yeah,
Like,
it's literally his house.
yeah.
He's in charge of that child that you're taking over, and the castle that you just wandered into.
So I had to look this up after, because I realized that Wart's voice was changing dramatically throughout the film. 3 voice actors.
Really?
Yeah, 3 different voice actors.
What happened?
I didn't read any more than that because I wasn't interested. It's just they made no effort to make these people sound similar.
Yeah.
Like, his voice is all over the place.
How many bones of food are just hanging out in this castle?
Yeah.
Just like laying on the
The
ground.
castle looks like a necromancer lives there. There's just like bone piles everywhere.
And you see Kay finish a turkey leg and throw it on the ground.
Just like toss it. Just be done with it.
There's got to be people that clean up, but I saw max maybe 6 people in that castle.
Yeah.
Or mentioned to. And there are so many dishes to be done.
I know, and it's like, how? Kay was just eating like a drumstick, like off the bone, and then he throws the bone on the floor. He doesn't even put it on a plate. Like,
Did Wart just come to live with them, and they had never had anyone to do dishes or anything for like 40 years?
no,
And they just
he was
kept
raised
buying
there.
new plates?
That's the thing. He was raised there.
Yeah.
Like,
how many different sets of plates do you need?
oh, they're like wealthy
Lots of
knights
bands?
in England, so maybe a lot.
Was it-
I don't know.
Is it a slow time there then? Because it was like nobody there. Nobody lived there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss of like Arthurian legends.
There was the guy that lets the drawbridge down. There's what I would assume is a kitchen wench,
Yeah.
since they did not give her a name.
No.
There's some guy they refer to as Hobbs that's going to get all the good squiring jobs
Yeah.
if Wart doesn't,
Shape up.
doesn't smarten up.
Yeah. So that's-
But he's never seen, and he doesn't become a squire, so
No.
I think he's just made up to threaten Wart. And there's the guy and his son. And then the guy that visits from London with the news. That's it.
The guy that visits from London is Pellinor.
And end of list of people have
Yeah.
been or are in that castle.
Well, then you get Merlin and Wart, but yeah, that's definitely under 10 people.
The amount of dishes is literally insane.
Yeah. I mean, there's even a scene later where Merlin uses magic to do the Fantasia cleaning scene, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw this in a movie when I went to the future, because I can do that. I didn't bring back antibiotics, because fuck you guys, but I did have a chill time at the movies, so you're welcome. Yeah.
But he does that spell, and they leave the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because Wart's supposed to be there cleaning those dishes. And it looks pretty efficient at cleaning those dishes. They're gone, becoming fish.
2 hours later.
Yeah, 2 hours later, the dishes are nowhere near done.
Yeah.
They've cleaned so many dishes, and there's still so many to go.
Yeah. Well, do you think maybe he set up the spell so that it just cleans whatever dishes are there and it cycles through. So like everything got cleaned and then the spell was still kind of running. So it just picked up with the first plates it washed and it started washing those again. It just was going to cycle through.
That's what offended that lady, is like all these dishes were already cleaned and we're wasting soap.
I don't think that's what offended like medieval era serving women. This magic that I've never seen is a waste of soap.
Let me tell you, medieval or not, if I came into work one day and it's like, oh, don't worry, magic is taking care of it. Like just these things are working on their own, doing your job. I'd be like, nice. I'm gonna punch in, and if anything else needs to be done, I'll be over here.
Okay, but
I wouldn't even run to my boss and tell him that black magic is doing my job.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, is
Yeah.
at some point your boss is gonna find out, and then
Yeah.
your dumbass is fired because you have been replaced by a spell that a dude cast once. I mean, this is the industrialized problem, you know? Like these low level, almost factory level jobs are disappearing because robots can do it. And as we see in the past, it was just wizards. Wizards could do this job. They just set up a
That's
spell.
why people hated wizards. They were taking jobs.
All right. I know in your heart of hearts you have an anti-wizard rant about they're taking all of our jobs. So if you want to spend just a minute or two getting that out of your system, I promise I'll cut it when I edit this episode. Just like I definitely won't cut the entirety of Kyle's Click. So
No, I don't have a rant about wizards stealing jobs. I don't. Okay, I think it's great. I think having those powers and doing those things is helping the greater good.
Okay.
I mean, Merlin doesn't seem to be doing that, but
No, he's definitely
it's fine.
not.
It's fine.
Also, he's not bringing back antibiotics from the future, or he doesn't really seem too troubled by how these people live.
He's just like, oh, I'm going to teach you some things. I teach you how to swim like a fish. I'm going to turn you into a fish, and you'll swim as a fish. I don't know if that'll help you when you're a human to swim any better.
You don't have fins, and you can't breathe underwater, so if anything, I've made it more dangerous for you to swim as a human. You'll be so confused.
Yeah. Now I'll just make it less likely that when you're having fish for dinner, you won't be like, oof.
Yeah.
Have an extra thought like, oh, boy, should I be eating this?
Well, if they eat that big mean fish, maybe they'll
Yeah.
all be real into it.
I love he's like, yeah, the big mean fish, and it's attacking them, and Merlin's like, no, I'm gonna hide in this helmet. You gotta teach it brains over bronze, even though this is the first lesson I've ever taught you.
Yep.
You don't have any marketable skills or any education that I've actually taught you yet. Just a song about to and fro.
You've been a fish for the grand total of like 45 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, you couldn't handle a bullfrog. At the end, he seems like it was a successful lesson. Merlin's really happy about the lesson that was taught. But what really happened was the bird pulled them out of there. And then Merlin just became a human again, and then was like, oh, he's drowning on the land again. Let me just undo it. Great job. You really learned that lesson about being smart is better than being strong, and well done.
It doesn't seem like there's a system where when Merlin homeschools Wart, people come and check to see what he's learned.
There's no regulation.
So yeah, I think Merlin knows that. So I think he's just like, yeah, good. I did a great job here. You probably learned what you needed to.
Yeah.
Let's move on. You're gonna be a squirrel next.
Yeah. If anyone asks, you're learning so much.
You learned brains over brawn. Go ahead and summarize.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time for when you're king. Don't worry about it. When you're king and trapped in this one room.
Yeah, and Wart gets in trouble for telling the guy that runs the castle about his adventures as a fish.
Yeah.
He's like, that's just a tall tale. And he's like, well, you just saw the guy disappear.
Yeah.
And he said he's gonna teach me. So
You saw the magic in the kitchen.
Believes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get real mad about the magic in the kitchen. You know that's real, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, and then Merlin does that same disappearing trick to get that kitchen wench to shut her mouth.
Yeah.
He's really just intimidating anyone that says anything bad about him.
He's using magic to keep people silent about the fucked up stuff he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that wizards do.
And then why does he turn the kid into? Why do they turn into squirrels? What's the lesson there? Is it about gravity? Because that's they start mentioning that, but then it's really about sexual assault.
It's about a lot of things. It's a pretty complex curriculum here. It starts off being about look before you leap, right? Because in the very beginning he jumps from branch to branch, and Merlin's like, oh, you gotta look before you leap, because that's this is a big commentary lesson, because this movie's based on a T.H. White novel, and it's just then it becomes a thing about sexual assault, and also they ruin that lady squirrel's life forever.
Yeah.
Merlin even at one point is like, oh, squirrels mate for life, so.
Yeah, you've been chosen, so good luck.
And Wart makes a very good point, like, I'm actually super not a squirrel, and Merlin's like, oh, fuck it, all right, well, whatever. Oh well.
It's like, don't worry. He just watches that kid get sexual harassed by a squirrel.
Yeah.
You think Merlin would have let it go as far as be like, let them mate? Or, you know what I mean?
He was pretty hands-off.
But you think he's going to be like, hey, I can't help you. That's nature. And if that female squirrel just forced herself on him, Merlin would have been like, that's nature.
I mean,
you just got raped.
Not only is Wart not actually a squirrel, he's also a little boy. So it's the fucking total hands-off attitude is terrifying in Merlin here. Where he's just like, oh well, you'll find that some women just can't leave it alone. And it's like, what kind of what kind of red
Women
pill
are real
bullshit is
aggressors.
this? What kind of pickup artist nonsense are you spouting?
He's like, ooh, a redhead. Oh my god.
It's like, oh okay, yeah, that's cool, Merlin. She's a fucking squirrel. She's not a human in disguise like the rest of us, but
Right.
fucking idiot. But his point was, the more you resist her, the more she wants you, and it's like, ooh boy,
Yeah.
ooh boy. Now, Merlin. Now tell us about peacocking. Now tell us about wearing a crazy heart as a conversation starter. Fucking piece of shit.
She's like, you can't fight sexual urges. You might as well not.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool free love little expo here in the middle of this children's movie. Cool. Thanks, Walt Disney. Thanks.
And he's like totally cool with it and just laughing about how he's getting sexually assaulted until it happens to him.
Yeah.
Like a fatty squirrel comes over.
Yeah, a fat older squirrel who is not a redhead,
Yes.
and then Merlin understands. I mean, the movie's from the 60s, but, like, seriously. Just the amount of, like, latent casual sexism is like, whoa.
Yeah.
I always forget that, like, the world just, in some places, very much is still like this.
Yeah, I don't even remember any women in the crowd of people when they go to pull the sword out of the stone.
There aren't any. I do not remember any either. I don't think there are any.
Just that one woman who's scared of dark magic.
Yeah.
In the kitchen because she's the kitchen wench.
Well, maybe that's why there's not a lot going on out at the castle. There's not a lot of women. There's some sort of plague that only targets women. Or they all got up and left because these men are nightmares.
They've all been turned into squirrels.
Yeah.
And the only way they can get turned back is to have sex with small children.
Merlin knows this. He's trying to help, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take that position, so I'm going to move on. Since that's pretty vile and disgusting. Wart gets in trouble for telling about his adventure, and then they go on a bird adventure, and neither of those things are interesting to me. However, they do use a phrase that I'm going to use forever in my daily life, just until I want this on my headstone when I die. And I know I've said that more than once on the podcast, but he says at one point, or maybe it's the knight, it might be the old knight when he's yelling at him, all that popping off just cooked your goose. And then they say popping off like 6 more times in the next 10 minutes, and I was dying. He's talking to Merlin, and he's like, no, I shouldn't have popped off down in the... And it's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Say cooked your goose. Say something about how your goose is cooked. Oh, man. Jeff, you ever get your goose cooked for popping off?
Once or twice I got my goose cooked for popping off. Yeah.
Yeah. I think every kid, when they're young, they don't know how to handle it emotionally, so they just start popping off. And it really cooks their goose.
Yeah. Are you worried about Merlin's mental state when the next day when he wakes up in the tower, he literally has no recollection of what he did the day before? Like threatening to get housing in this castle, and he's training a young boy. He doesn't remember any of that. Does that worry you?
No. So I've read. This is based off of the Sword in the Stone novel, which is part of T.H. White wrote it. It's part of the Once and Future King. I forget how many there are in it. There's at least 4 books. There might be 5. It's not a trilogy, but like he writes up a bunch of different little things, all about the like Arthurian legends and stuff. Merlin in T.H. White's version he's like the reference you would know is probably Benjamin Button. Mm-hmm. He's actually youthening is what they call it in the book. So he remembers the future. So now that the day is in the past, it's kind of like his future. He doesn't remember it.
So wait, he's living life out backwards.
Yes, kind of? Except for him, it's like. So he remembers from his birth to now, but his birth is in the future. So he's remembering the future when his memories are of the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty dope. It's a pretty cool thing for a wizard to do.
Yeah. That's amazing. I was just gonna give him shit for like doing all this stuff and then not remembering, but apparently that's his thing.
I think that's what they were playing towards, is hinting at, because I don't think he ever really mentions it in the movie. I don't think they address it because it's not relevant, really. They just make him like a time-traveling wizard. Do you want to know more about the Arthurian legends? Because I can tell you why, kind of. But
okay, yeah. Please.
I don't know if this is about the movie.
I'm ready for it.
So
I'm ready.
Wart's father is the old king, Uther Pendragon.
Okay.
And when Wart was born, he was brought supposedly he was brought by Merlin into hiding to be raised anonymously, so that people wouldn't like hunt him down and assassinate him. And then he's raised by that knight way out in the middle of nowhere, and it's deliberate because they don't want a ton of people around. And Merlin is involved in raising him to try to make him, the brains over bronze, look before you leap type stuff.
Okay.
Because a lot of the T.H. White stuff is actually about the difficulty in transitioning out of a feudal society.
Okay.
And about how like dumb people are and how resistant they are to new ideas, even if they're better. So the idea of might makes right is like a big one. And one of Arthur and Merlin's things is kind of overturning that, creating a system of laws, and the society is maintained by laws, not by, I accuse you of a crime, and now you can defend yourself in combat, and whoever wins is chosen by God. Like, God takes a hand in this combat, and he chooses the winner, and that proves your guilt or innocence.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is like, let's just have laws. Let's just do that instead of trial by combat.
Although trial by combat was, one of the better things in the Game of Thrones series.
Yeah. But so actually there's a parallel there. So the Arthurian legends are pretty interesting, and a lot of fantasy draws from them because they're like foundational Western literature. Do you remember Daenerys talking about breaking the wheel?
Yes.
That's what she's talking about, is sort of an end to this feudal, there are lords up above and they control their own individual place, but they report to the king or queen in that case. She wants to destroy that and then essentially create a system of laws that apply to everybody. That is the breaking the wheel conversation that she has.
Gotcha.
So it's very Arthurian in that sense. So I'm done with my sermon. As you can see, it's important to know where all these ideas and concepts come from. So you should read this literature.
Yeah.
If you have the chance. But I'll stop preaching. I will step out of my professor role.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Yeah. And you should just watch Reading Rainbow because it was a great show. Geordie LaForge.
Yeah.
I wish LeVar Burton had worn the eye visor and it just like worn the Star Trek uniform and just there was never an explanation for it.
I wish they had a whole Star Trek episode where he did a children's reading show.
Well, I remember seeing years ago a theory on the internet that Reading Rainbow was a program on the holodeck that Geordie LaForge was running, where he wasn't like the head of engineering with all these pressures. All he had to do was read children's books to children, talk about cool ideas and concepts.
That's so good.
Do you see how bad this movie is, though? We keep like deliberately moving away from it because it's so bad.
Well, even you just explaining some of it, like what they're going off of, it makes a lot more sense. He's like, the world is round. It's like, it will be round. No.
No, it is.
It is. Trains, planes, things like that. It's like, what? But I mean, his owl has a point. Well, Merlin gets real mad when the owl's like, you should be teaching him real things. He's like, fine, you do it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, here, read some of these books. And he's like, I can't read. What are you, crazy? Like, this is some...
Yeah.
I'm like this little, I'm this kid in medieval times.
Yeah, he's a servant. He washes dishes, like...
I cannot read, nor can I write. And then I was like, well, let's start there.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be real helpful.
Yep.
And Merlin is just pouting in the corner.
I wanted to turn into a bird so that our lives were risked again. All the best learning comes with trauma.
Yeah. But then he does turn into a bird just because.
Just because, yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Turns into a bird. Bird doesn't follow him, though.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Archimedes, the owl, teaches him, essentially, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, you can't just flap your wings. Like, flying is a whole thing. And he does a pretty good job. I mean, they escape from that hawk.
Barely.
Barely.
He escapes from the hawk, but he lands in Madam Min's house.
Yeah, there's a witch here just for no real reason. This felt really disconnected from everything else.
Was she a witch or was she a wizard? Because they have a wizard's duel.
Yeah, so she might have been a wizard. Don't don't start popping off about your witch versus wizards thing.
These are just the types of things that confuse me.
Or I'll cook your goose.
Sorry, I was popping off, but it's confusing. It confuses me. When they blur the line like that.
I mean, that's magic, man. It's all a bunch of hocus pocus bullshit, you know. But
she's into awful things. Terrible means great to her, you know.
Yeah.
She's gonna destroy.
Yeah.
Or
she's cool to start.
Yeah, she's pretty cool to star. She's like, hey,
What's up?
what's up?
How's it
Let
going?
me tell you a little introductory song.
Yeah.
I'm naturally ugly. I could be cute, or what the standards are for attractive, but no,
Yeah.
that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Respect for that, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. She seems to like living in the woods, whereas Merlin was just very angry about it.
Well, he had to be out there to wait for a little boy to fall through his roof.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Now that I know he was euthanating,
Yeah.
I'd be pretty angry if, as the years went on, society got less and less advanced. Like, oh my god. I used to be able to just pull up any song I wanted, just turn on the faucet. It was terrible. I'm older now, crankier.
Well, so that's not. It's like
He was also getting younger?
no, it's like Benjamin Buttoning. So it was like he was born old.
Okay. So he's getting younger every day. So
Yeah, he's euthanating.
It's just,
And
just his
he
timeline's
remembers the
messed up.
future. So I mean, again, in the film, he's a time traveling wizard. So he just goes to the future too, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he remembers iPods or whatever. I guess I don't know how long his life is, but yeah, no, I would also be unhappy if like I was born old, and then as I youthened, like I was just like, oh my god, I have to live through 40 years of feudalism, and then some boy is gonna be king, and I gotta help him. This sucks.
I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be really smart, but one of the rules he sets for his wizard duel with Mim is no cheating.
Yeah.
Is rule number 4.
Yeah.
No Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Is there have to be a rule in every game that says no cheating?
If you're cheating, you're inherently breaking the rules.
Exactly.
I mean-
exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to be smart to be a wizard. You just have to be smarter than children so you can manipulate them. Like, that's the baseline.
Is a germ really an animal? Do you consider germs animals? Because that's how he wins.
Yeah, that felt like cheating, didn't it? That felt an awful lot like cheating.
Mim was wanted to destroy it, was gonna kill him. That's conviction.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you're gonna be sick for a couple weeks. I can't handle this.
Well, maybe.
I won't take your life.
Well,
I'm gonna raise this boy to be a king, and then he'll come back and take your life.
yeah. Again, manipulating children,
Yeah.
And he wants to stay on Wart's good side. And if he's out in the woods murdering witches or wizards, like just killing people that he's trying to have little friendly competitions with, that's not going to look good for him.
And he's mad after that for some reason because Wart becomes a squire because Hobbs, this person who's 100% real, can no longer do it. So he gets excited. He's like, Merlin, we're so tight now. We're close because you turn me into animals and we have adventures together.
You risk my life.
That thing I've always wanted since I've known you.
Yeah.
It's going to let it happen. I get to do all the adventures with you, and you get to be a dick to this guy, and I'm going to be a squire. Isn't that great? And Merlin's like, I don't ever want to see you. Get out of here. This is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
You're so dumb. How come you still like dumb things? You're such an idiot. He just flies to the future.
Yeah.
Flies to the future.
Peace out, motherfucker.
Yeah. You'd think he'd remember that day is going to be very important because he's going to pull, the sword from the stone and become king.
No, remember,
he-
everyone forgot about the sword and the stone. Didn't make someone king.
But Merlin knows the future.
Yeah, that's a good point, but,
He waits till that kid's king, and then he just comes flying back from his vacation to Bermuda. And he's like, I'm going to live in a nice tower now. It's going to be great.
Hey, remember me from earlier when I left because you were getting what you wanted and not what I wanted?
Yeah.
This had a very Rick and Morty feel to it, actually, now that I think about it.
It's true. Forcing the kid to go on adventures.
Yeah, forcing him to go on
Them
adventures,
going wrong.
crazy adventures.
Only coming back when it's convenient for him.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that until just now. Yeah, I mean, after they have the Mim, yeah, they just go to town. Merlin leaves. Wart, probably depressed because, like, his best friend just left after being a dick. Forgets Kay's sword, and Kay is like, go find me one. And that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, you're at a tournament, borrow somebody's. This isn't hard.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, there's got to be several swords there.
Yeah.
They're not used to that many people being around and having that many weapons readily available.
Yeah.
They wasted all their wealth on dishes.
You know what? They when they were fish, when Wart and Merlin were fish, there was a lot of stuff in that moat. So that's
Yeah.
probably what Kay reflexively did. He was like, go jump in the moat until you find me a sword that's just been sitting there.
Yeah.
He just pulls the sword out. It's no big deal,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the music makes kind of a big deal out of it with the like the angelic choir and whatnot.
And he's scared that it's coming out, and there's light music coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know why they set it up that way. Like, maybe they assumed it wouldn't be a fucking child who's going to rule over this kingdom. But he takes it. Nobody believes him, so he runs over, puts it. They all head back. He puts it back.
Yeah, they don't believe that he pulled it out of there, but they do believe it's okay that it's out of there. They go there, it's not in there.
Yeah,
He's
right.
Got the sword.
Yeah, so they're trying to find out who actually did this.
Yeah.
It's a very particular kind of stupidity everybody here exhibits.
It's medieval times, man. People were dumb.
Then Wart's just king. Yeah, he just king because he puts the sword back. No one else can pull it out, and then Wart does, and he's the king.
You think they'd set him up with some advisors or the steward that was already there?
No, they just group up around the throne room. Like, they put him in the throne room, and then they stand outside the doors, and anytime the door opens, they chant his name.
Real intimidation move.
Yeah. Well, they haven't had a king for a while. They want to make sure this one fucking sticks around.
Yeah. Merlin flies in, and he just to cover his ass, he starts complaining about how the 20th century sucks.
Yeah.
He's like, what a terrible 20th century. I'm glad to be back here with you.
Oh.
With us, we're king. We made it.
We did it.
All those teachings I taught you.
Literally day one, I could have brought you here and you could have pulled the sword out. This would have been done, but yeah. Cool, great.
Quick, go tell people how to swim like a fish so you can collect their taxes.
Right, like, hey, remember those ham-fisted lessons I added on to risking your life when you were animals? Those will help, probably.
Definitely gonna help. Definitely.
And then the movie ends. Like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It was terrible. So let's review. What did we confirm again about wizards?
They manipulate children.
Yep.
That's
the big one.
100% of the time seems to be their thing.
Yeah, I think that was it too.
Some spells you have to sing.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean,
and the line between witch and wizard is still very blurry. So
I was going to say that gender doesn't matter if you're going to be a wizard, but I know you want to keep that wall up.
I think it's because we started with Harry Potter and it was the wizard and witching school or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just I'm still confused.
It just means it's a co-ed school, man.
But shouldn't it be wizarding school? Can't they all be wizards?
I don't know. Come on. Like, they don't use pens and pencils. They use, like, ink-covered quills still. Kind of a backward society, Harry Potter there.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's a sexist thing. So that's what I'm not getting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And by not getting it, do I seem sexist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop out of shame.
Yeah. I thought I thought that was the message I was sending. I was like, hey, it's really weird that you are stuck on this gendered aspect of wizarding and magic, and I'll be more clear in the future.
That's fine. I'm going to stop out of shame, but I hope to one day have it click in my head so that I'm actually a good person.
Okay. Yeah. That men and women
but
can
I just
do
want
the
you to
same
know,
job.
for right now, it's going to be out of shame.
That men and women can do the same job. Yeah. That'll click in your head someday.
That I get. I just assume... I don't know. I assume magic, I guess, it has something to do with your DNA. I don't know. Wizards have bigger brains. Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
Candy. No transitions. What did we have this week, Jeff?
We had Twix. We had Twix. Cookie bar with some caramel on top, covered in chocolate.
Twix.
Made by, I would assume, one of the big three.
I feel like that exchange we just had was... really weirdly constructed advertisement voiceover.
Twix.
Right, yeah. We should remix that and sell it to Twix. But Jeff, are we going to sell it to right Twix or left Twix? What one are you going to choose, man? It's a debate. They're different. They're totally different.
I'm sure they thought that marketing up before everything changed, okay? And now they've got millions invested in these commercials.
Yeah.
But
left versus right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not ideal for the landscape we're in. Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah.
Whoops.
But they're made by the Mars company.
And where's that based? Is that on Mars?
Yeah. On Mars, yeah.
I deliberately misunderstood. No, please continue.
Comedy. No. So I was a little worried because these have caramel in them, so I thought you might not like them. But at the time we were having a text exchange about what candy we were going to have, I was checking out at Target, and I had a Twix on the conveyor belt. So I thought, I'm already got a candy chosen for me right now. Why not? Let's make that for the podcast.
Just a great instance of life imitating art. Yeah.
Great instance of like, wow, if I do this, the work will be done for me.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call from work.
Oh my God.
I'm muting it.
Okay. How are you guys doing? Great? Great. Do you guys know the difference between a witch and a wizard? If you do, reach out to me, please. Reach out to the podcast in general and let us know. If you two are confused, let Sean know that I'm not the only one, okay? headsuppod, gmail.com, @headsuppod, Twitter, and Instagram. Leave a YouTube comment. We have YouTube videos. Write a diatribe about witches in an iTunes review. Anything, so that I can know. Anything.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
How dare you?
So, I think Twix were okay.
Yeah.
I think the chocolate was too sweet a little bit. The caramel was okay because it wasn't super chewy.
Yeah, it wasn't a chore.
Yeah, exactly. If the caramel's a chore, come on, what are you doing?
Didn't stick in your teeth.
I think it wanted to stick in my teeth, but the cookie, the wafer that the Twix is sort of built around, prevented that.
It's good.
So it had, as far as I'm concerned, it has a built-in toothbrush. So it's basically a health food.
That's what I've been using in the mornings.
Gross. Oh, that's awful. You should take up smoking.
Twix, they're hit or miss for me. Like, sometimes I'll eat a Twix and I'll be like, I'm going to eat these forever. It's going to be great. Other times I'll bite into one and be like, something is off. I don't know what it is, but I guess I'll just finish these and then not eat Twix for a while. For the most part, I like them. I mean, I'm not afraid of sweet chocolate, so.
I found some news on Twix.
Oh, okay. All right.
All of it seems to be pretty recent. Let me see. This one's dated today, and this one's dated yesterday. So peanut butter Twix. Have you ever had those?
Yes.
Did you like them?
Yeah. When they used the not the chocolate cookie, they were good.
Okay. Well, they're bringing back peanut butter Twix.
Oh snap!
Apparently they were gone at some point, but they're back now.
Yeah, they stopped it after the chocolate cookie ones were not. I don't think they were doing great.
Yeah.
And by that I mean I didn't enjoy them. And then I saw some a little while back at the gas station. The package looked different, and I got it and it was a regular peanut butter Twix. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like a couple months back. It was great. I don't want to give anything away for future candy things, but those are great.
Okay.
Everyone should have peanut butter Twix.
So you know what we could do, and I'm not committing to still doing this podcast with you in 2018, but. If we do,
no.
we could pick something.
Yeah.
We could pick something like Twix, and then for that year, cycle through every flavor we can find, and compare them.
Yeah.
You know, kind of keep it within one product, so it's not so scattershot. Just an idea I had. So I mean, maybe if you want to pick up this podcast with someone, a better host who's got more time and doesn't hate watching these movies because they're fucking terrible.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're almost done watching movies. We're almost done.
You say that.
We're almost done.
Are we going to start watching HGTV house buying shows?
Here's the thing. Everybody's already watching those, okay? You're already watching them. I'm already watching them.
I'm not saying I'm not down for that, but I just want to be done watching movies.
I feel you,
right.
and we will be. And we can just, we'll have other topics, and I'll be an expert on wizards.
Well, part of the thing is, too, that
life will be so different.
It's going to be so good. It's all up and up, man. I feel like we're in like a postmodern play, and then like it's not all in the up and up. It's very Death of a Salesman.
Wow.
There's a long slow shot of me in like a motel somewhere in Florida, and it pans back out the window, and you can see the shotgun leaning up against the wall. Camera pans away to watch maybe two seagulls fight over a dead rat's body, and then you hear a gunshot, and we fade to black.
I had no idea.
I'm just saying.
Is a Jedi a wizard?
No, they're not.
They're not.
No,
They're
because
religious fanatics.
Because of
They're
the
clerics.
because of the midichlorians, they're actually deformed monstrosities that have like psychic powers based on an infection by a space alien virus. Wow, that's terrifying to say. I've never said that out loud, but that's actually what Jedi are. Do you think the Sith have a point?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But they also have really high midichlorians?
Oh damn! I didn't think of that. The Star Wars movies are horror films. Okay, but we're not talking about the Star Wars movies. I'm sorry, we can't. We don't have the time. This is the candy segment. Candy segment.
Yeah. I like Twix. They're not like my favorite.
Yeah.
I'd say like mid high maybe.
I'd say middle of the road. That's my new grading system. Top of the shelf, middle of the road, bottom of the barrel. That's all you get. Sorry.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I just came up with that on the fly. I had a lot of candy earlier today though, so I'm riding pretty high.
It's Twix. They're okay.
Did you know that Twix is actually a portmanteau?
No, I did not know that.
It's for twin biscuits.
Oh, really?
Or twin Bix, like a shorthand of
okay.
biscuits. That's a citation needed on Wikipedia, but I liked the idea.
Are they originally from the
United Kingdom.
from Britain? Okay.
Yeah, in the 60s. Wow, so Twix came out 4 years after that movie we just watched. So that was a pretty good. This was a 60s episode. If you're looking for theme episodes, this was a 60s episode. It counts. Twix is apparently coming out with a spread. Like it comes in a jar and you spread it on things like it's peanut butter.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. What would you spread that on though? Cake?
Probably. I don't. You could spread it on the gun you're gonna put in your mouth to kill yourself later that day because you're eating because you bought this fucking product.
Yeah. You put it on like French toast or something.
No, what?
You know what? I'm buying it.
Oh no, Jeff. No, it's you in that motel room in Florida now. Oh no. The gun is covered with Twix spread. No. Jeff, no.
Have you ever had the Twix ice cream bars?
No. In that scenario, by the way, it's like mid-morning too, like the most depressing time to kill yourself when you're in Florida. Just so you know, it's like it's really bright and everything's very in this kind of stark outline, and it's probably humid outside in Florida because Florida sucks as a state. But what were you gonna say? You gonna talk about something fun and lighthearted like Twix?
Well, you know when you're about to kill yourself in Florida in a hotel room, you know what helps me cool down? Twix ice cream bars.
Okay. I have not. I have had cold Twix that I threw in the refrigerator or the freezer. They're okay. I don't know. That doesn't really add anything to them.
Just makes them harder to snap.
Yeah.
If anyone needs me, I'll be covering most of my meals with Twix spread.
That's gross. Also, have you ever had French toast? Do you even know what French toast is?
I've had French toast. It's bread and eggs.
Yeah,
and
but it's
like
not
cinnamon.
It's not like a thing you put a spread on. It's not like I'm gonna have a peanut butter sandwich with French toast. Like,
I'm sorry. Do you not listen? I don't like maple syrup, and we can get into this another time. But so it's just butter for me with French toast.
how do you not
know
like
what I mean?
maple syrup? Is just like tree sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But you know, if I could have something nice to put on it, like Twix spread,
Yeah.
be good. Right now, I eat all my breakfast foods with just butter.
My god. What suffering. I can't imagine having to just put butter on all the things you eat for breakfast.
Cereal,
Buttered cereal.
granola bars.
Yeah, candy, I'm sure.
Twizzlers.
Most frequently. Man, you got to get on this egg trip, man.
Just eating eggs.
2 hard-boiled eggs in the morning with an English muffin. Put some cream cheese on that. Oh man, glass of nice cold orange juice.
Someone I work with just does raw eggs in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. So you work with a psychopath. That's good to know.
That's what I thought. I was like, why don't you just hard boil like 12 of them at a time, and leave them in your refrigerator? And I was like, where did I get that good information from? Sean Ryder. That's right.
You got that from me. That's how you knew it was good advice.
You just pop. What is it, 2 in the morning? Just pop 2 eggs in the morning, and
What do you mean?
just in your mouth, just 2 eggs.
You want to know you don't want to know about what I call the process. So I hard boil 12 at a time, and then I take the shells off all at once. And then they just sit in a Tupperware container, shellless, naked, bare naked eggs, hard boiled. Hard, bare naked eggs just sitting in my refrigerator. And then in the morning I take that Tupperware container out and I eat 2 of the eggs. I just pop them right in my mouth.
Damn.
Not all at once, I take bites. They're pretty big. I get medium eggs, Mm-hmm. Don't want to get too big for my britches. Eating them large eggs.
Do you you put salt on them or anything?
No, I don't put salt on them.
Just ask it.
Why? I don't want nice salted breakfast. Are you kidding me?
So you're doing 2 hard-boiled eggs in the morning.
Yep.
Do you do anything else, like an
English
piece
muffin
of
with
toast?
an English muffin with cream cheese. The English muffin should be whole wheat. I don't like multigrain, but I'll eat it if I have to. They don't have it in a whole grain store.
Think about this though.
Yep.
Instead of cream cheese,
Yeah.
Twix spread.
No, that's disgusting, and we've run out of things to talk about. My breakfast is not the interesting for anyone to hear about. What I would like to talk more about, just real briefly before we stop, is your friend that just drinks eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
You work with. I guess I wouldn't say friend. Maybe I don't want to be presumptuous. But how do they? How and why? Please explain more.
I tried to get it out of him why, but he's just trying to convince people to do it.
Okay.
And I was like,
so that means he doesn't do it then. He's full of shit.
Really? You think so?
If he won't give good reasons and just try to get other people to do it, he's trying to trick people into drinking eggs.
You think so? Well, I mean,
that's pretty funny. I'll give him credit.
He used to play like football and stuff, I guess. So
okay.
He needed that extra protein.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does he play football professionally?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. So he probably doesn't need the protein shot of.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. I don't know that much about professional football. He might. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
We can't be sure.
Now, does he suck the eggs right out of the chicken? Does he have just 2 chickens and he just gets right up in that cloaca?
No, gross. You gotta crack the shells, right? Can't just eat them all shell.
Well, I don't see why not.
You can suck them out of the cloaca, but then you gotta crack them.
Snakes eat the shell, and their scales are super glossy. You don't want my scales to be glossy?
They don't have hands or thumbs to crack eggshells. No. They do that out of a utilitarian need.
Okay, lizards eat eggs, and they have hands and maybe thumbs. I don't know, probably not thumbs, but they have
But they're eating them raw, right?
Yeah.
So which side of this argument are you on?
I'm on my side, which is the correct side, which is you should suck the egg out of the chicken's cloaca.
It's the only way to make sure it doesn't have salmonella.
Yeah, right? Sure. Or pesticides, right? If it falls out
of
the chicken, it might land in a pesticide, and then boom, you're sick.
So it's part of your raw diet.
Yeah. This is the Sean Ryder totally raw diet for health and wellness 2017. Lose weight fast. Just get on this machine that forces a chicken's cloaca right up to your mouth while you climb stairs.
It's just how stressed my mornings would be if I drank 2 raw eggs. I'd just be like, am I sick? Am I gonna die now?
Right.
Do I have salmonella?
Right.
What is it like when you have salmonella? And I would just be at another level.
Imagine how much more stressful it would be if you had to pin a chicken down and suck it right out of the cloaca.
I'm sure after a while you'd develop a good relationship with that chicken. You know what I mean?
No, I think day one that chicken makes the decision, this will never be a good relationship. I
think you're wrong. I think you start waking up in the morning and the chicken's already laying on your face.
Hey, I think if that happens, the cops knock your door down and you go to jail for bestiality because you're sleeping with a chicken then. Boom.
I don't sleep with a chicken and leave the door open and the chicken comes in.
The Sean Ryder diet it skirts the line of legality, okay?
Sean Ryder, part of the diet is the exercise it takes to catch this chicken every morning.
Yeah, and the other part is staying under the cops' radar. You're ducking into alleys when you see a cop cruiser. You're jumping fences when they're chasing you. You'll be lean and trim, just like our Stone Age ancestors. It's the Sean Ryder Stone Age ancestor diet. Coming soon.
Wow. Enter the code HEADSUP at SeanRyderStoneAgeDiet.com and get your first meal free.
No, you won't. I'm not giving anything away for free here.
And you'll get a map to where the last known place that the chicken was.
Yeah, and we'll tell you the chicken's name so you can ask around, try to find out where he went.
Free indescript baseball hat to hide your face from the cops.
No, you got to do that on your own because I don't know what your look is. You know, you get the wrong baseball cap. Like the cop's gonna know if you're wearing the wrong baseball cap. They'll know. They'll know. All right, the podcast is over because I gotta pee. So this has been Heads Up with Jeff and Sean.
I'm Jeff.
My name is Sean.
I'm Jeff.
That's Jeff. If you wanna hit us up, like if you have questions about the diet I just explained in exacting detail, and you shouldn't, but
it's very clear.
I was very clear about it. You'll be running from the cops a lot and sucking eggs right out of chickens. You can email us at headsuppod@gmail.com.
True.
Or you can tweet at us. And let's be honest, Jeff is going to be replying to those because I don't really get Twitter.
You don't get it? Or
I don't use it.
Like,
I don't
where you're at?
Look at it. No, I get it. But we have a Twitter and an Instagram. And on both of those, we are at headsuppod.
Yeah.
And the at is actually the at symbol. And if you need to type that in the computer, you're going to hold down Shift and just tap where the number 2 button is.
What if I'm on a phone or some other device without a physical keyboard?
If you're on a phone, fucking ditch it, because the cops can track it and they know what you did with that chicken. Go, run! They're right behind you. But you're healthy, and you've got your health, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Cops can never catch healthy people. That's the trick.
They can't.
Sean, if it's a good tweet, I mean, I'll share it with you.
Okay,
you
no,
know?
I hope you do.
You're gonna hear about it.
Yeah, I
You're
hope
gonna
you
hear
do.
it.
But
you know what? We post these as YouTube videos. Go ahead and leave it as a YouTube comment.
ooh boy, I don't want to encourage anyone to comment on a YouTube video. That's another way the cops could come at you.
Yeah, your ISP is not safe.
Depending on what you say, it might be the CIA or the FBI too. So.
Ooh.
So that was heads up. So I had a thought too. I know you're waiting for me to say Toodles. What if we changed the sign off, right?
Okay.
What if you said Toodles, right? Go ahead.
Toodles.
And I said, this is Jeff and Sean popping off. Right? Or you don't have to say Toodles. You can adjust it up. I think
Our goose has been cooked.
we've cooked this goose, and then I'll go, this is Jeff and Sean popping off. And then you want to give that, let's give that one run or two, okay?
Okay.
So I do, okay, this is the end of the show. Here's how you contact us. Jeff, we're done, so why don't you take it away?
Our goose has been cooked.
This is Jeff and Sean popping off. You want to let's flip it. Let's flip it. I'll say the goose cooked thing, and then you say this is Jeff and Sean popping off.
Okay. All right.
Now that I think about it, popping off would have been a great name for the podcast.
It's never too late.
All right. I mean, that's up to you. You market it as you please. I think popping off's pretty good though. Could be a segment too.
All right.
I got so many ideas about popping off. Okay. Okay, here we go. I run through my thing. It's the end of the podcast. So that's all we have. And our goose has been cooked.
This is Jeff and Sean popping off.
It's still good. I like it either way. I like it either way. I don't know. Why don't you tell me what I'm sick with, you fucking human embodiment of WebMD? Come on. Probably cancer, right? Diagnose me.